With the kind permission of the president of this program, Janab Bashir Ahmed Jagirdar sir, I would like to proceed the program. May I, sir? Thank you, sir. I, Anjuman BBA, Faculty Department of Economics,
and I, Dr. Saubhagya Jadhav, Department of Education,
feels immense pleasure and privilege in extending a warm heart and heartfelt welcome to all on behalf of Anjuman Islam Arts, Science, Commerce College and PG Studies, Harvard. It is indeed a moment of pride and joy as we gather here today for this significant occasion, the National Conference on Employment, Employability and Higher Education in India, the Miss and Leads. This conference is not merely an event but a vibrant platform for dialogue, innovation and collaboration. A space where great minds converge to address the pressing challenges faced by the education and employment sector today.
ಭಾರತವು ವಿಶ್ವಕ್ಕೆ ಉದ್ಯೋಗವನ್ನು ಒದಗಿಸುವ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ಹೊಂದಿದ ದೇಶ. ಆದರೆ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಯುವಕರನ್ನು ಜಾಗತಿಕ ಮಾರುಕಟ್ಟೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ ಇರುವ ಕೌಶಲ್ಯ ಜ್ಞಾನದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಸಜ್ಜುಗೊಳಿಸಬೇಕಿದೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ APJ ಅಬ್ದುಲ್ ಕಲಾಂ ಅವರ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚಿಸುವ ಸಂದರ್ಭ ಇಂದು ಒದಗಿ ಬಂದಿದೆ.
Prayer is not asking but putting oneself in the hand of God. At this disposition and listening to His voice in depth of our hearts. So let's begin this auspicious occasion by seeking divine blessings to the beautiful recitation of verses from the Holy Quran. I now invite Ms. Soleha Khalid from BSc 5th semester to grace us with the recitation.
ಸರ್ವಲೋಕಗಳ ಪರಿಪಾಲಕನಾಗಿರುವ ಅಲ್ಲಾಹುವಿಗೆ ಸ್ತುತಿ. ಪರಮ ದಯಾಮಯನು ಕರುಣಾನಿಧಿಯು ಪ್ರತಿಫಲ ದಿನದ ಒಡೆಯನು ಆಗಿರುವ ಅಲ್ಲಾಹುವಿಗೆ ನಾವು ನಿನ್ನನ್ನು ಮಾತ್ರ ಆರಾಧಿಸುವೆವು, ನಾವು ನಿನ್ನೊಂದಿಗೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸಹಾಯವನ್ನು ಬೇಡುವೆವು. ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನೇರವಾದ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುನ್ನಡೆಸು. ನೀನು ಅನುಗ್ರಹಿಸಿದವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಿ, ಕ್ರೋಧಕ್ಕೆ ಪಾತ್ರರಾದವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಪಥಭ್ರಷ್ಟರಾದವರ ಮಾರ್ಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೀನ್.
ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು ಕುಮಾರಿ ಸ್ವಾಲೇಹ. ಬೇಕಲ್ಲವೇ ಪ್ರತಿ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಮುನ್ನುಡಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಯುವ ದೈವತ್ವದಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೊಂದು ಬೇಡಿಕೆಯ ನುಡಿ. ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಳಿಗೆ ಅದುವೇ ವಾಸ್ತವಿಕತೆಯ ಕೈಗನ್ನಡಿ. ನುಡಿದು ಬಿಡೋಣ ಶುಭಾರಂಭದ ಶುಭ ನುಡಿ. ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯ ಸಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಒಳಗೊಂಡ ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಕುಮಾರಿ ಅಕ್ಸಾ ಮುಲ್ಲಾ BA 5th SEM ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿನಿ ಇವರಿಂದ.
तदात्मा ಯಾವಾಗ ಧರ್ಮದ ಅಮನತಿಯಾಗುವುದೋ ಅಧರ್ಮದ ಉನ್ನತಿಯಾಗುವುದೋ ಆಗ ನಾನು ಅವತರಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಸಾಧುಗಳ ರಕ್ಷಣೆಗಾಗಿ, ದುಷ್ಟರ ವಿನಾಶಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಮತ್ತು ಧರ್ಮದ ಸಂಸ್ಥಾಪನೆಗಾಗಿ ಪ್ರತಿಯುಗದಲ್ಲೂ ಅವತರಿಸುತ್ತೇನೆ. ಧನ್ಯವಾದ.
ಅರ್ಥಪೂರ್ಣ ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆಯ ಸಾಲುಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಮರಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಕುಮಾರಿ ಅಕ್ಸಾನ್ ಮುಲ್ಲಾ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಭಾರತ ಮಾತೆಯ ಮಗಳಾದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಮಾತೆಗೆ ಜಯವಾಗಲಿ ಎಂದು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಕವಿ ಕುವೆಂಪು ಅವರು ಬರೆದ ನಾಡಗೀತೆಯ ಮೂಲಕ ಶುಭ ಕೋರಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಕುಮಾರಿ ಅರ್ಷಿಯಾ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಂಗಡಿಗರು.
I kindly request everyone to rise in the respect of Nadagita.
ಸುಶ್ರಾಯವಾಗಿ ನಾಡಗೀತೆ ಹಾಡಿದ ತಂಡಕ್ಕೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
A warm welcome is the first step towards building connections and sharing knowledge, reflecting the respect and gratitude we hold for our distinguished guest. To extend our heartfelt greetings and presenting bouquets as a token of appreciation, I now invite groundbreaking leader and the guiding force of our institution, our beloved principal, Dr. Anjuman sir. He is not only an exceptional principal but also a respected NAC peer team member whose visionary leadership has brought national recognition to Anjuman Dharwad. Sir, may I kindly request you to come forward and extend this gesture of warmth to our esteemed dignitaries.
President of this function, Alhaj Bashir Ahmed Jagir Sahab, a scholar and educationist, scientist, my mentor, advisor, guide. The today's keynote speaker, Dr. Shivprasad sir. Another important person in the field of education, more particularly agriculture economics, the Director of Education, University of Agriculture Science, Dr. Kireshul sir. Organizing Secretary of this National Conference, Dr. A.S. Ballari. Dr. Nagraj Vidyavan, IPC Coordinator, Dr. M.D. Nalatwa, and the President of this conference, Dr. I. Mullah. The panelists of panel discussion, Dr. Aftab, Dr. Siddharthi sir, Dr. Nadir sir, Dr. Rakhankat madam, my well-wisher, best friend, head of the Department of Commerce from the CSI College, Dr. Edgar sir, Dr. Mateen, Dr. Noor Pati, various delegates, media persons, participants, students, and ladies and gentlemen. The theme discussion was started just a long back, that is 4-5 months. We are in dilemma, should we go with a specific discipline or should we opt a common subject so that we can attract more people. Then ultimately the theme was proposed by the organizing secretary, Dr. Asmanat Ballari, and convener, and we given a perfect shape to this, and ultimately the theme was appreciated by all the academicians. And today is the day we are celebrating. To this August function, as head of the institution, I am very happy to welcome all of you present here. More particularly, the president of today's function, Janab Bashir Ahmed Jagir sir. Now I request Dr. Rutresh to come up the dais and offer the bouquet to Dr. Bashir Ahmed Jagir sir. I am very happy to receive our dynamic President of Anjuman Dharwad. Shortly he is joining with us, Janab Muhammad Ismail Tamadgar sir. Now I request Dr. Nagraj Kantini, Dr. Mubarak Mullah, please come and offer the bouquet to Shivprasad sir, please. Now I request Dr. Ullas, Ismail Kotekar to offer a flower to our inaugural address chief guest, Dr. Kiresh Musal. Now I request Fatima Dawla to offer flower to Asmana Kandari. I request the President to offer flower to Nagraj Vidal Namas. I request the Gauri Madam to offer flower to Arif Ullas. On behalf of all gathered here, I heartily welcome our dynamic leader, President of Anjuman Islam Dharwad, who is giving a new dimension, new change, new look to the education system of Anjuman campus. Now I request Dr. Budhan Nawar to offer a flower to our President. Once again, I welcome and endorse to this function. Thank you. So many people are witnessing this program in a Hebrew mood also. On behalf of the entire team, those who are witnessing this program in live telecast of this program, I welcome all of those, and also our conference partner, Lohani, as well as Sirajuddin from the Baramati and Gujarat. Thank you.
Now kindly request Fatima to present a bouquet to our dynamic principal in the Makandars.
ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ರೂವಾರಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ಸರ್ವರನ್ನು ಸಹೃದಯದಿಂದ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಪ್ರಾಚಾರ್ಯರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎನ್.ಎಂ. ಮಕಾಂದಾರ್ ಸರ್ ಇವರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. ಸಾಧನೆಯ ಹಾದಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳು ಸಹಜ, ಹಾಗೆಂದು ಕುಗ್ಗದಿರು. ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಕುಗ್ಗಿಸಿ ನೋಡು, ಯಶಸ್ಸು ಖಂಡಿತ ಎಂದು ಸಾಧಿಸಿದ ಸಾಧಕರ ಪರಿಚಯ ಮತ್ತು ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is both an honor and privilege for me to introduce our esteemed chief guest of today's conference, Dr. B.R. Kiresu, a stalwart in the field of agriculture sciences and education. His illustrious journey, marked by unparalleled dedication and achievements, has made significant contribution to academics, research and societal development. Dr. B.R. Kiresu is currently the Director of Education at the University of Agricultural Sciences, Dharwad. Born on 23rd December 1963 in Dharwad. Today we also celebrate his birthday, making this occasion even more special. On behalf of everyone present, we are delighted to extend our heartfelt wishes to you, sir. A very happy birthday. Sir has overcome many challenges in his academic journey to achieve remarkable success, earning his BSc Agriculture and MSc Agriculture with distinctions, university medals and Karnataka State Awards. He completed his PhD from Indian Agricultural Research Institute, New Delhi, receiving the prestigious IARI Merit Medal for his outstanding research and academic performance. Dr. Kiresu began his career as an agricultural research service scientist with Indian Council of Agricultural Research and later held key position at National Academy of Agricultural Research Management and International Crop Research Institute. contributing significant to agricultural research and development. At Agricultural University Dharwad, he has served in various capacities including Registrar, Dean, Postgraduation Studies and in-charge Vice Chancellor, leading transformative initiatives in academics and infrastructure. With over 200 publications including research papers in reputed national and international journals, Dr. Kiresur also successfully led over 20 external funded research projects, including a $10 million project funded by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. He has guided 5 PhD and 28 MSc students and organized 19 training programs benefiting over 700 participants in areas like computer applications, resource management. Dr. Kiresur has received 28 prestigious awards and honor. To name a few, the ICAR Young Scientist Award, the Best Agricultural Economics National Award, the D.K. Desai Prize, and the Eminent Academician Award. He has also been recognized internationally, presenting research papers in conferences across the USA, Canada, Italy, Sweden, Belgium, Bangladesh, Kenya, Nepal, etc. A transformative figure, Dr. Kiresur's contribution extended beyond academics into the capacity building, project management, and policy making, making him a revered personality in agriculture sciences and education. With great respect, I would like to invite our President, Janab Ismail Tamadgar sir, to kindly felicitate Dr. Kiresur sir. Everyone,
ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಎಸ್.ಎಂ. ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಇಂದು ನನ್ನ ದೊರೆತ ಒಂದು ಸುವರ್ಣ ಅವಕಾಶ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಕೀನೋಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ಆದಂತಹ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಎಸ್.ಎಂ. ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಇವರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಪರಿಚಯಿಸುವ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಕಾರ್ಯ. ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರು ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಧಾರವಾಡದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಡೀನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ಧಾರವಾಡದ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಇನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಧಾರವಾಡ ಡೀನ್ ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಾಗಿ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಮುಂಚೆ ಧಾರವಾಡದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರಾಗಿ 6 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ್ದರು. ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಿನ ಜವಾಹರಲಾಲ್ ನೆಹರು ಸೆಂಟರ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಫಿಕ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ದಲ್ಲಿ 10 ವರ್ಷಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸಿದ ಅನುಭವ ಹೊಂದಿರುವರು. ಧಾರವಾಡದ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಿಂದ ಘನಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಭೌತಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ PhD ಪಡೆದಿರುವರು. ದೆಹಲಿಯ IIT ಮತ್ತು UKಯ ಸುಸೆಸ್ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಿಂದ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಡಾಕ್ಟರಲ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಪಡೆದಿದ್ದಾರೆ. 2016ರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿಯ USK ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಿಂದ ಗೌರವ ಡಾಕ್ಟರೇಟ್ DSc ಪದವಿ ಪಡೆದಿರುವರು. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಮತ್ತು ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿ ಗೌರವ ಫೆಲೋ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರು NIST ಮತ್ತು ಅಮೆರಿಕಾದ ಲೋಡರ್ಸ್ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ, ಜರ್ಮನಿಯ ಉಲ್ಮ್ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ, ಜಪಾನ್ ದೇಶದ ಟೊಹಿಕೋ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ವಿಸಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಸೈಂಟಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವರು. ಭಾರತದ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಪತಿಗಳಿಂದ ಯುವ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿ ಮತ್ತು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಸರ್ಕಾರದಿಂದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ರಾಜಾರಾಮನ್ ಹಿರಿಯ ವಿಜ್ಞಾನಿ ಪ್ರಶಸ್ತಿಗೆ ಭಾಜನರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ರಿಸರ್ಚ್ ಸೊಸೈಟಿ ಇನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕರಾಗಿ ಪದಕ ಗಳಿಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೂಪರ್ ಕಂಡಕ್ಟಿವಿಟಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಅವಾರ್ಡ್ ಪಟಿಯಾಲದಿಂದ ಪಡೆದಿರುವರು. ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸಕ ಪದಕ ಐಐಟಿ ಬಾಂಬೆಯಿಂದ ಪಡೆಯಲಾಗಿದೆ. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ಆಸಕ್ತಿಯ ವಿಷಯಗಳು ತೆಳುವಾದ ಚಲನಚಿತ್ರ ಮತ್ತು ಲೋಹಗಳು, ಅರೆವಾಹಕಗಳು, ನಾನ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಡ್ ವೈಡ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಗ್ಯಾಪ್ ಅರೆವಾಹಕಗಳು ಮುಂತಾದವುಗಳಾಗಿರುವವು. ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ವಿಷಯಗಳನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಅವರ ಸಾಧನೆಯನ್ನು ಹೇಳುವುದಾದರೆ, ಶ್ರೀಯುತರು 286 ಇಂಟರ್ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ಸ್, 23 ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಜರ್ನಲ್ಸ್, 706 ಆಹ್ವಾನಿತ ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ಭಾಷಣಗಳು, 232 ಆಹ್ವಾನಿತ ಶೈಕ್ಷಣಿಕ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ವೇದಿಕೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಷಣವನ್ನು ನೀಡಲಾಗಿರುವುದು ಮತ್ತು 200 ಕೋಟಿ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಪೂರ್ಣಗೊಳಿಸಿರುವರು. ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಅವರ ಪ್ರತಿಭೆಯ ಬಹುಮುಖಗಳೆಂದರೆ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರಾಗಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರು, ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರು, ಕಚೇರಿಯ ಸಿಬ್ಬಂದಿ, ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ತರಬೇತಿ ವಿನ್ಯಾಸಗೊಳಿಸುವ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾರ್ಯಗತಗೊಳಿಸುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ತಮ ಗುಣಮಟ್ಟದ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಉತ್ತೇಜಿಸಿರುವರು. ಭಾರತದ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಆರೋಗ್ಯ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ವಾಸ್ಥ್ಯ ಸೂಚ್ಯಂಕ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಗೊಳಿಸುವ WHO ಯೋಜನೆಯ ಪ್ರಧಾನ ತನಿಖಾಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು. ಧಾರವಾಡದ STM ವೈದ್ಯಕೀಯ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಆಡಳಿತ ಮಂಡಳಿಯ ಸದಸ್ಯರು. ಹುಬ್ಬಳ್ಳಿಯ KLE ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂದರ್ಶಕ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು. ಮೈಸೂರಿನ JSS ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿಯ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಸದಸ್ಯರಾಗಿಯೂ ಸೇವೆ ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತಿರುವರು. ಶ್ರೀಯುತರು ನಿಪುಣ ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಆಟಗಾರರು. ಸುಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ಕೌಂಟಿ ಮತ್ತು DDCA ಲೀಗ್ಗಳಿಗೆ ಆಟವನ್ನು ಆಡಿರುವರು. ಕ್ರಿಕೆಟ್ ಮತ್ತು ಬ್ಯಾಡ್ಮಿಂಟನ್ ಆಟಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಶಾಲೆ, ಕಾಲೇಜು ಮತ್ತು ಸುಸೆಕ್ಸ್ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯವನ್ನು ಪ್ರತಿನಿಧಿಸಿರುವರು. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಉತ್ತರ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಯುವ ಕುವರರಿಗೆ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ SM ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ವಿದ್ಯಾಕಾಶಿ ಎಂದು ಹೆಗ್ಗಳಿಕೆಗೆ ಪಾತ್ರರಾಗಿರುವರು. ಸರ್ವತೋಮುಖ ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ತುದಿ ಏರಿದ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿತ್ವದ ಇಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂದಿನ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಮುಖ್ಯ ಭಾಷಣಕಾರರು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಶಿವಪ್ರಸಾದ್ ಡೀನ್, ಧಾರವಾಡ IIT. ಇವರಿಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂಜುಮನ್ ಇಸ್ಲಾಂ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯ ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷರಾದಂತಹ ಜನಾಬ್ ಮೊಹಮ್ಮದ್ ಇಸ್ಮಾಯಿಲ್ ತಮಾಟ್ಕರ್ ಸರ್ ಸನ್ಮಾನ ಮಾಡಬೇಕೆಂದು ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಸನ್ಮಾನವನ್ನು ಸ್ವೀಕರಿಸಿದಂತಹ ಗಣ್ಯರಿಗೆ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again it is my distinct honor to introduce the distinguished individual who has consistently exemplified dedication, vision and service to society, Janab Muhammad Ismail Tamadkar sir. Janab Tamadkar sir's remarkable journey has been defined by his expertise in various fields including social services, political leadership and the management of educational institutions. His unwavering commitment and selfless services towards societal betterment have established him as a dynamic leader and source of inspiration. An exceptional leader whose action truly reflects the values of compassion, selflessness and integrity. Janab Tamadkar is a tireless advocate for the underprivileged and is deeply involved in various social causes. His leadership is defined not by titles but by the positive impact he has on others. He leads with humility, always focused on making difference without seeking recognition for his contribution. His unwavering commitment to humanity, coupled with his readiness to extend a helping hand to those in need, makes him a beacon of inspiration for all of us. Despite facing challenges in his academic journey, he earned a bachelor degree in commerce and began his career as a humble social worker, eventually contesting the MLA election from Dharwad West constituency. His visionary leadership has significantly contributed to the development of Anjuman Islam Dharwad, particularly in academics and infrastructure. Under his leadership, Anjuman Islam Dharwad has seen transformative growth with focused efforts on improving educational opportunities, fostering community harmony, and enhancing institutional infrastructure. He has worked tirelessly to uplift underprivileged sections of society, addressing their challenges with innovative solutions and unwavering dedication. With this brief introduction, I would like to take this opportunity to request our Principal Dr. N. Makandar sir to kindly felicitate our esteemed President Janab Muhammad Ismail Tamar sir. Thank you very much, sir. I feel extremely honored to introduce the Vice President of Anjuman Islam Dharwad, who is a renowned social worker. He is always in front when it comes to helping the poor and the needy. He is an inspiration to many. It is such a privilege to have him as a honored Vice President in our program. He hails from rural agricultural family in a Bard village of Dharwad Taluk, a BSc graduate from Karnataka Science College, Dharwad. Basically, he is retired employee of State Transport Corporation. With his dedication and commitment, he rose to the top administrative rank in maintaining books of accounts in KSRTC, Dharwad. Before he was elected as a Vice President, he has served as a chairman for Rent and Lease Committee of Anjuman Islam Dharwad during 2020 to 2023. We are fortunate to have Janab Bashir Ahmed Jagidar sir, who has demonstrated exceptional leadership skills, has truly made a difference. We sincerely appreciate his valuable presence on this occasion. I take this opportunity to request our principal, Dr. N. Makandar sir, to kindly felicitate Dr. Janab Bashir Ahmed Jagidar sir. Thank you, one and all.
ಇಂದು ನೆಟ್ಟ ಬೆಳೆಸಿದ ಒಂದು ಸಸಿ ನಾಳೆ ನೂರಾರು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಜೀವ ಸಂಜೀವಿನಿ. ಇಂಥ ಉಸಿರು ನೀಡುವ ಹಸಿರಿಗೆ ನೀರಿಣಿಸುವ ಮೂಲಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮ ಉದ್ಘಾಟಿಸಬೇಕೆಂದು ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳು ಹಾಗೂ ವೇದಿಕೆಯ ಮೇಲಿರುವ ಗಣ್ಯರು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಳ್ಳಬೇಕೆಂದು ವಿನಂತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ.
Welcome, sir. It is locked. Take the device back.
ये हमारे बोले फ्रेंड हाँ लॉक्ड बोल दे रहा तो लॉक्ड बोल दिया हो नहीं जा रहा हो
It's locked. Take the
कराया
device
मोबाइल
back. ये click करो ऊपर का.
Thank you to our esteemed dignitaries for this meaningful beginning. May this sapling grow as reminder of our collective efforts to nurture education and employment in our society. Ladies and gentlemen, we are delighted to announce the release of the research publication soft copy. I now kindly request esteemed dignitaries to efficiently release this significant work. Thank you one and all.
ಜೀವನದ ಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠ ಆಭರಣ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ. ಯಾರೂ ಕದಿಯದ ಆಸ್ತಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ, ಬದುಕು ರೂಪಿಸುವ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ, ಉತ್ತಮ ಆದರ್ಶ ಬದುಕಿನ ಭದ್ರ ಬುನಾದಿ. ಇಂಥ ಉನ್ನತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಮತ್ತು ಉದ್ಯೋಗ ಕುರಿತು ತಮ್ಮ ವಿಚಾರ ವಿನಿಮಯ ಮಾಡಲಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದ ಉದ್ಘಾಟಕರಾದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ VR ಕಿರೇಸೂರ್, ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ವಿಭಾಗ, ಕೃಷಿ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯ ಧಾರವಾಡ. ಇವರನ್ನು ವೇದಿಕೆಗೆ ಆಹ್ವಾನಿಸಿ.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Thank you. Dignitaries on the dais. Shri Bashir Ahmed Jagedar ji, Vice President of Anjuman Islam. Janab Muhammad Ismail Tamargar ji, President of Anjuman Islam Dharwad, Dr. Shiv Prasad, Dean, Indian Institute of Technology Dharwad, Dr. N.M. Makandar ji, Principal of this college, Dr. I.A. Mullah, Dr. N.V. Gudaganamal, Dr. Srimati Bailari, Dr. N.B. Nalakwad, and there are several panelists here. First of all, Dr. Mohan Siddhanti ji, my guru, my teacher, English teacher when I studied my 8th standard at K. Boards High School, Dharwad, right here. Dr. B.H. Nagu, Professor of Economics, KUD. Dr. Shambha Ratnakar is here. Mr. Aftab Pai is here. Dr. Shambhu Hegdal is here. And many panelists are here. Distinguished faculty of this esteemed institute, dear students, participants in this national conference, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, a big thank you to the organizers for inviting me here to be the chief guest of today's function to inaugurate this conference. A big pranam to you, all the organizers. It gives me an immense pleasure to be here, and you must be surprised to know that this is first time I have entered your campus. First time in my lifetime I have entered this campus, and I am born and brought up here in Dharwad. And it was great pleasure to witness the very warm welcome by the staff and students of this campus. Thank you so much for that. In fact, myself and Dr. Shiva Prasad ji were recalling our wedding ceremony. Thank you for everything that, whatever you have done to us. In fact, it's with great honor and privilege that I stand before you to inaugurate this conference, addressing very critical issues of employment, employability, than higher education in India. Our nation, with its rich demographic dividend, it stands at crossroads where the alignment of education with employment opportunities will determine the trajectory of our future growth and development. There is, of course, a very strong nexus between the education system in the country, skills acquired, employability, then actual employment, then its contribution to the gross domestic product or gross value addition and growth and development of the country. You all agree with me, there is a big nexus, strong relationship, very strong correlation between amongst these factors. Now if you see the evolution of higher education, of course you will be hearing to the lecture of the great orator, Dr. Shiva Prasad, Dean of IIT. But nevertheless, I'll share with you my own views about this nexus. Then, in short, what are the challenges before us and what are the strategies to work on that? And I'll also highlight some of the components of the National Education Policy of which I was a part. I was a member of the 6th Dean's Committee constituted by the Government of India. So I would like to share some of those views and also give some glimpses of agricultural education in India. Now, if you look back to the evolution of this higher education, during Vedic period, it started with Gurukul system of education. You all know, I will not go into details of all these things, I cut short because of time constraint. We started with Gurukul system. Then during Buddhist period, it was Bihar system of higher education. Bihar system. And later during the Islamic period, it was Madrasa's system of higher education. And in the pre and post independence period, it is university system of education. And now in 21st century and beyond, it is private system or distance system of education. We no more need a teacher or offline teaching like this. You can learn online, through distance and through private. Privatization is the 21st century education strategy. Now if you scan through the landscape of current status of education in India, as per the All India Survey on Higher Education 2021, we have 1,113 universities in the country. So 1,000 plus. Having around 43,796 colleges. And which cover, per lakh, if you see, per lakh population, there are 31 colleges. That is, per lakh of population, we have 31 colleges. Roughly, each college catering to about 3,225 population. But if you actually see the enrollment per college, it stands at 646 per college enrollment. In the last 5 years, it has decreased from around 690 to 646 per college. And I just give some data and then go on analyzing that. If you see the enrollment in the colleges, all enrollment, it stands at 2.83 crores in all classes, all standards. But for undergraduate courses, it stands at 1.67 crores, and for postgraduate, it is 0.47 crores, 47 lakhs for postgraduate courses. So in a nutshell, the gross enrollment ratio stands at 27.3. And the pupil-teacher ratio is 27. On an average, each teacher each teacher has 27 students in his or her class. This is a pupil-teacher ratio. And as I said, in the last 5 years, this enrollment has declined. And if you see the subject-wise or stream-wise enrollment, the arts faculty stream has 33.52% of the total enrollment. Whatever total enrollment is there, arts constitutes 33.52% and science around 15%, commerce around 13.98, around 14%, engineering and technology around 11.87%, and all others put together, your medicine, agriculture, all, including space science, it is 25%, all other faculty streams put together. Thus, the students' enrollment is not aligned with the current requirement of secondary and tertiary sector, especially corporate and private enterprises. Now, to fill this gap wide, government in fact should focus more on industry-oriented curriculum and come to that, how to bridge that gap wide. And more importantly, on the development of placement capacity in educational institutions. Now, this might increase the employability among the higher education institutions. Now, what are the challenges before us? Straight away, I'll go to the challenges. First of all, there is a skill mismatch. What skills you are imparted in the colleges is not the one which is warranted in your workplace, job place. You study some BA psychology, you are put in some accounts or some other field where your psychology is not useful at all. Skill mismatch. There exists a significant gap between the skills imparted and those demanded by the job market. In fact, employers often report a lack of critical thinking, problem-solving abilities, and practical experience among the graduates. This is one of the reasons why in the NEP, National Education Policy, many skill enhancement courses have been introduced. For instance, in agriculture, we have introduced 6 skill enhancement courses in the first 2 years of the graduation course. I'll come to the details of that. Then quality of education. We all are aware, quality of education, I have my own doubts in that. The teachers, what I had, one of whom is sitting right here, with so much devotion, day and night, struggling for the betterment, welfare of the students. We hardly find such things nowadays. Everything is commercialized. Even a teacher or a scientist looks for his own credentials to be improved over time. How quickly he gets his promotion, how quickly he becomes a director or a vice chancellor. Everybody. Rat race. Everybody competes with everybody else. The devotion, loyalty to the institution has become a very costly commodity nowadays. So quality of education is a big concern. Then limited industry academia collaboration. To what extent we are collaborating with industries? Because finally you will be employed by the industries. What they require, have we done any analysis? With how many industries we have memoranda of understanding? For example, in Agriculture University Dharwad, we have 75 MOUs with industries. What they require in dairy industry, what they require in silk industry, in cotton industry. We have produced now color cotton, for example, you might be aware. In addition to white cotton, we have different colored cottons. We need not add any color for your fabrics, shirts, pants. We have produced colored cottons to make it chemical free. So, to what extent we have geared up to those demands of the industry? So there is a big lacuna here that we should have this linkage with industry. Now, regional disparities, of course, especially urban-rural disparities. Most of the educational institutions are concentrated in urban areas. What about rural sector? Most of the population lives in rural areas, but educational institutions and even the job market is concentrated in urban areas. So any incentives for starting an educational institutions in rural areas or an industry in rural areas to be thought of. Global competition is again another challenge. Many of our graduates face global competition if they want to really compete in the world job market. For example, engineers, technocrats. If they want to compete with your own peers, you have to compete because opportunities are very limited, but there is a huge demand. If I call recently, we called for some 32 positions. There were thousands of applications, 12,000 applications. 12,000 odd applications for 32 positions. Imagine the competition. Even recently I was told in Karnataka state government, in Gram Panchayat or somewhere they advertised, lakhs of applications were there. 750 rupees was the fee there, and they earned close together amount in application fee alone. I am telling you just the extent of competition you have. So you have to be up to date, not necessarily learning what is taught in the class. You have to keep your ears open, eyes open, and you have a good friend now, Google. You can search anything there, but still teacher is a teacher. Okay, Google you can get any how to make dosa, also you get quickly in Google, but actual making of dosa is different. Okay, you cannot just put on your YouTube and start cooking. Okay? So these are the major challenges what we have right now. There are several, but I will restrict to only these because these are 5 most important challenges we have. What should be our strategies as an institution, as a country, and as an individual? What should be our strategies for filling these gaps? Curriculum revitalization is most important thing. We have to scrap whatever we learned earlier. We have to scrap that if it's not up to date. We have to think of revitalizing, revising our own course curriculum. We have done that. Every 10 years we are doing that in agriculture stream. Every 10 years syllabus is revised. There is something called Dean's Committee constituted by Government of India for agriculture universities. We sit there. In fact, this time, in the light of national education policy, 11 people were selected. I was one of them for agriculture, and I prepared this syllabus for agribusiness management. So there were some 5-6 sittings at Delhi and one in Kashmir as well. So detailed syllabus revitalization, revised revision was done, and now that is implemented from this academic year. Most of the outdated courses have been deleted. Some are modified. New courses like artificial intelligence, robotics in agriculture. Robots have come in agriculture. My young students might know that if labor is costly, then henceforth agriculture can be got done by robotics. If you teach a robot how to sow a paddy seedling, it will do with a high perfection. Robotics, artificial intelligence, drones are used now to spray chemicals for many crops. For example, if you want to spray chemical for pest control in areca nut, Adike Gida, beetle nut. How will you go there and spray there? How will you climb? Drones are trained, or you can operate drones and spray chemicals to arecanut plantation. So many innovative technologies have come. Drip irrigation, for example, computer controlled drip irrigation is there. It's not just irrigating the crop, but it will also supply the nutrients through that water. How much nutrients is required for each plant and at each site? What is the nitrogen available in that soil at that particular site? How much is to be applied? Computer calculates and delivers that amount of nitrogen to that particular plant or site. This is not any new technology, it's already implemented. Most of the Western countries, Israel, many of the stock of Israel, this is what is practiced already there. So many such technologies are there. And strengthening vocational education. We are a little poor at this. Of course, nowadays vocational training and skill development policies have been implemented. Skill India, Startup India, several. We have many startups funded by Government of India and monitored by our university. And enhanced industry academia collaboration. This is very much important. We have to have an understanding with the private industries. I don't know what's the placement ratio here. Now if you see, I can give many data sets on that. Now in most of the engineering colleges, you must have heard that in the final year of their course curriculum they have placements. What's the placement ratio here? Whether do we have any linkages with the industries so that we can produce graduates required by such industries. Many bankers, private seed, fertilizer companies approach us every year. We provide a forum there to interact with the students, and then students get placement through such. We do have a placement cell. So this is very important, and focus on soft skills. This is another important thing. Soft skills not necessarily mean you are computer, but also communication skills. I think Dr. Shiva Prasad will be focusing on that. That is communication, teamwork, and then adaptability to different situations. Then investment in faculty development. This is very much important. Faculty also, see, I had my graduation way back in 81 to 85. How much has changed over time? Whether I have updated my knowledge? After graduation, I had my MSc in 87, then PhD in 91. After that, my hard disk has to be formatted and again reloaded with new information, latest information. Otherwise, I go on teaching the same thing what I have in my hard disk. So HRD, trainings, how many winter schools, summer schools you have organized or you have attended, students have attended. That is the faculty development and policy interventions. I will cut down some of the things. Policy interventions by the government. Many policy interventions have been done in terms of skill enhancement, Startup India, Skill India, as I mentioned. A lot of funding is there given to many universities for bridging this gap. Now, to bridge these gaps, most of these gaps, this current national education policy is a very important step government has taken. Big leap forward in this direction. It is national education policy. Some of the students tell it's new education policy. NEP stands for National Education Policy 2020. As a part of that, in all the streams, including agriculture, medicine, engineering, technology, your course curriculum is updated, revised. I'll tell some highlights about this because I was involved very closely with this team as I was a member of the Dean's Committee. Many new things are incorporated in this Dean's Committee or in general national education policy. For example, if you have a four-year degree program, in agriculture we do have, here I think it is 3-year degree program. 4 years, it is BSc Honours. If it is 4 years, we will call it as BSc Honours Agriculture, otherwise it was BSc Agriculture, 3 years, or BSc Mathematics or whatever it is. If it is a 4-year degree program, it is Honours. Now, students are free to go anywhere in the country, leave education any number of times. There is multi-entry and multi-exit system in this NEP. Multi-entry and multi-exit. For example, after completing first year in suppose Agriculture University Dharwad, you can leave that and go to some other university in say Ahmedabad. If you like that university, if you can get admission there, you can go for second year in another university, third year in some other university. This provision was never there in the country earlier. Once you are stuck in one university, you are stuck. Whether it's good or bad, you have to be married to that university. Now you can shift. There is something called ABC, Academic Bank of Credit. Each student will be given one passbook kind of thing, bank passbook. A student who completes first year here in Dharwad Agriculture University, he will be given a statement. In Dharwad Agriculture University, he has completed these courses and he has attained this grade. That passbook he can take and go to any other university, get admission for second year, and he can continue. Multi-entry and multi-exit system. If you are not happy with this university, you can leave that and go there. This was not there. It is a big deviation from the earlier educational system. And a lot of emphasis has been given for skill enhancement. In the first 2 years itself, we have incorporated these skill enhancement courses. Because for any reason, if a student leaves education after first year of graduation, he should be able to start his own business, entrepreneurship. So all those skill-oriented courses we have incorporated in first year. And he will not be sent just like that. He will be given one certificate course, certificate course in agriculture. And if he leaves after 2 years, he will be given diploma in agriculture. This is same in every other stream. I am just giving example of agriculture because I hail from agriculture stream. So if a student leaves after 2 years, he will be given diploma certificate. If a student leaves after 3 years, he will be given a BSc certificate, BSc in particular subject. And if he completes all the 4 years, he will be given BSc Honours. That's it. And further, even the PG course are integrated with the undergraduate courses. I will not go into details of that. And about agricultural education, sir, for my young friends, other than your basic arts, science, commerce, you do have plenty of subjects elsewhere, including agriculture. You have a lot of medicine, engineering, technology. Even in agriculture, we do have 36 subjects, disciplines you can specialize. Bioinformatics is there, biotechnology is there. I am an agriculture economist. Like that, you have 36 specializations in agriculture itself. And we have 75 agriculture universities in the country, including Deemed University and private universities with the agriculture faculty. Including all that, we do have 75 universities. And in Karnataka, we have 6 farm universities. And these 6 farm universities, like that, we have 11 faculties in agriculture. I think if there is an opportunity for the students of this college to be brought to our university, any other occasion, Happy that this esteemed institute has chosen this topic for the national conference, which is very apt and timely. So I congratulate the organizing team. You have chosen a very important topic of current times, and I wish the deliberations of this conference a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable insights on education, statistics, skill gaps, quality of education, along with practical solution to address these challenges. Thank you, one and all. Recognizing the endless journey of learning, in the words of Aristotle, the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. This reminds us. This reminds us that knowledge is ever expanding and that true wisdom lies in the pursuit of continuous growth. It is with great honor that I invite keynote speaker of this national conference, Dr. Shiv Prasad, the Dean of IIT Dharwad, to share his vast knowledge, invaluable insight and wisdom with all of us.
वो निकला है वो रखने का नहीं निकला हो चिपके डिलीवर लाइट जाना ऊपर उठा क्या वो ऊपर उठा छोड़े फ्रंट लाइन गीला करना आता है स्क्रीन दिखा एक बार स्क्रीन दिख रहा स्क्रीन दिख रहा है बस को लौड़े लगता ये था करेक्ट है तो स्क्रीन दिख रहा था तो सामने का होता है वो करेक्ट होता स्क्रीन आ रहा था बस एक करने का दूसरा हो रहा है इसमें
ओके ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ
एक करने का
ಡಿಲೈಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ಹಿಯರ್
सर ऊपर उठाओ जरा
ಇಬ್ರು ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು ಒಬ್ರು ಕುರಾನ್ ಓದೋರು ಭಗವದ್ಗೀತೆ ಓದೋರು ಅವ್ರು ಇಬ್ರು ಇಫ್ ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಲ್ ದೆಮ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಡಯಾಸ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ವೆರಿ ಹ್ಯಾಪಿ
बोलना
ಎಷ್ಟು ಚಂದ ಓದಿದ್ರು ಇಬ್ರು ಓಕೆ ಓಕೆ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್ ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಶಿ ಡಿಸರ್ವ್ಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ಅದು ಕೇಳಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೂ ಕೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅರ್ಥ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾಗ ಹೇಳೋದಂತೂ ಭಾರಿ ಚಂದ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇಬ್ರು ಓಕೆ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ಡೌಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್ ಅದು ಅರ್ಥ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ನಂಗೆ ಏನಿಸ್ತಂದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೈ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಹೌದಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಂದೇ ಹಾಗೆ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಗಾಡ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಗೇನ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಇದು ನಾವು ಮೊದಲನೇ ಸತ್ಯ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರಕತ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಓಕೆ ಎವ್ರಿ ಟೈಮ್ ಕರೆದ ಕಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಕಾಂತ ಸರ್ ನಿಂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ with this beautiful smile he invites us not only that ಒಳಗೆ ಬಂದಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ everybody smiling any institution I keep telling ಎಲ್ಲ wherever institution people are smiling that is the best institution okay I think ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ದೂರ ಹೊಡಿತೀರಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಡೇ. ಇದು ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗೈತಿ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಹೊಸ ಇದನ್ನು ಕೊಡಿಸ್ರಿ ಸರ್, ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಕೊಡಿಸ್ರಿ, ಏನು ಕಾಣೋದು
ಲೈಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಲೈಟ್ಸ್.
ಇವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಚಲೋ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ಹೌದಲ್ರಿ? ಐ ರಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಯು ಟು ಬೈ ಪ್ರೊಜೆಕ್ಟರ್. ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಟ್. ವೆರಿ ನೈಸ್. ಓಕೆ, first of all, I use this opportunity to wish my very happy birthday to Vikram sir. All of us together wish you a very, very long life and a very healthy life and a happy life. Okay, thank you very much. It's a great occasion. Okay, I think sir, ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ವೆರಿ ಕಾಂಪ್ರಿಹೆನ್ಸಿವ್ ವೇ. ಇಷ್ಟು ರೇಟ್ ಬೇಡ, ಇಷ್ಟು in the light quickly. Okay. Let me tell you, two youngsters are in an amazing period, which probably we were not inside. Okay. Everything is changing drastically. It is changing very fast and very beautifully. So I think, first of all, I thought there will be only teachers here for this program, but now I see more students. I'll try to change my topic and address more the students rather than the people who are sitting in the front row. Okay, so very important students, you are in an amazing period, and we unfortunately didn't have that amazing period, so we became very ordinary people. So now very important for each of you to become an amazing citizen of India and amazing member of this whole human world, very humanity. Okay. Right. So that's why I'm trying to call this topic as a paradigm change which is happening. A paradigm change in not only in technology, in industry, and everything we do in life. I will show you as we go along. There's an amazing change which is happening. Anta ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತ change. I hope everybody understands Kannada. Is there anybody who doesn't understand Kannada? Everybody understands. Good. ನಾವು ಧಾರವಾಡ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಮಜಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Okay. So this is an amazing opportunity. ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿರಲ್ಲ, ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೋ ಫಾರ್ಚುನೇಟ್. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮುಗಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿವಿ. I wish I had gone about 50 years later, so that I also had been a student of this college and try to be a part of the changes which we are going to see. Okay, so of course there is an Indian flag. We don't see that. Either Tirupuri. Okay, right. So this is something I always start my talks with this graph, which actually shows unfortunately. Okay, anyway, this is a plot of the per capita GDP of different countries over the years. Okay, so until and I compared only two countries, India and China, because they are comparable both in terms of history, in terms of population, in terms of growth, etc. So I just compare these two countries. It's meaningless comparing with US or maybe Kuwait or something like that. It's important to compare with China. And there's another curve here. Okay, unfortunately, Nanagatila. Okay, so imagine Madrid, there's another curve here. And until 1990s, both the curves were similar. Okay, they were all same. India and China. So, this is India's growth curve, which ends up here. So, 1990, we were both poor nations. Okay, we all said that my begging bowl is more shining than yours. That was the kind of argument we had at that time. But things changed from 1990, and the growth started very fast. But here, interesting, China has grown such a high speed, and we have grown at a small speed. We have grown, but it's much smaller. Yeah, what is the reason that China grew much faster than India? If you find, there are different reasons, of course, but in this context, and what I feel very important is this graph, which actually shows the gross enrollment ratio, okay, in higher education. So if you correlate the GDP of a nation, okay, with the gross enrollment ratio, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ ಹೈಯರ್ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಹೊಂಟಾರ, ಓಕೆ, ಹೆಂಗ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ, ಅಂಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ದಟ್, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಇದ್ದವರು, ಪ್ರೀ ರಿಕ್ವಿಸಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದವರು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. These are two important parameters which decides the growth of a nation. very important. Unfortunately, my PowerPoint is not very clearly visible to you. Right, okay, okay, right. So you see this graph, this is very important. So in there, you see, I mean, without going into too much of details, I just want to tell you, see, you look at India here. We have certain gross enrollment ratio between 26 to 27%. Right? We have 26%. Look at China, they have about 44 to 45%. And look at developed nations, they have 90%. So essentially, higher education determines the growth of a nation. This is one of the most important parameters. Next, there is something called as the eligibility enrollment ratio. People who have the background to go, okay, how many of them will reach? And you see, we have 43%. Out of that, in India is 26%. Out of which, about 63% of the people who have the background join. That means, again, many people drop out of education. But you look at developed nations, this gap is very small. So the idea is, we have to have a large number of people getting into higher education. And then, we also, not only that, we need to make sure they continue education. These two are big challenges for India. And you know, under the National Education Policy 2020, the prediction is 20 years from now, we will have 50% gross enrollment ratio. So, look, even after 20 years, we are still going to be somewhere what China is today. So, we need to think about this whole paradigm in a very different sense. In normal sense, normal growth rate into linear growth rate, we need something very, very different and a paradigm change in the way outlook of our business. That is very important. Anyway, okay, again this picture, you see, education has defined civilizations. All civilizations, the Mesopotamian civilization, the Egyptian civilization, the Indian civilization, okay, all Chinese civilization, every civilization has been because of the education they have. Each of them had different methods of education. The Mesopotamians had a different way, Egyptians had a very different, had a hieroglyphic education, then we started with the Gurukulas, then we changed to the Buddhist education, then we came to the Islamic education, and then we have the university. Okay, and then we have the Chinese experiential education, which was there and then in our own histories, in our own civilizations. But what was exciting about India is, we had about 14 universities already. Right? We had many, many universities already. And this, I don't think any civilization had so many universities. They had one or two, but India had the maximum. So what does university mean? University means universalization of education. That means people from different civilizations came to those universities. And there was exchange of thoughts. That is why we find it very difficult to say who is the originator of anything. We claim that we were the first, the Chinese claim that they were the first, the Mesopotamians claim they were the first. This game goes on because of our own pride. But eventually, there was a lot of exchange. So now that I look at universities, except for some universities, our character ಉಳಿದಿಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ university ಅಂತ ಹೆಸರಿಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದು universality ಬರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. Every university should have 20-30% of the people coming from different nations. ಬೇರೆ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸಿಟಿ ಇಂದ ಒಂದು 20-30% ಇರಬೇಕು all over. ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸು ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ಯಾಕಲ್ಟಿ ಅವ್ರು 20%-30% ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು. Then only it's worth calling it as a university. ಈಗ unfortunately we are not yet there, but probably we will make an effort to go in this direction. Okay, I'll just start here. Of course, ಅವಾಗ ಏನು ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು ಹಿಂದಿನ ಕಾಲದಾಗ the civilization that most of them were workers, and then there were soldiers because the ಸಣ್ಣ ದೇಶ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಕಿತ್ತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಹೊಡೆದಾಡ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಅವ್ರು ಇವ್ರು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ರು, ಇವ್ರು ನಾವು ಬರ್ತಿದ್ರು. So soldiers were very important. Food, so you had people who were making food, then people who were fighting wars, and then you had traders, okay, and then there were craftsmen who were making different kinds of crafts and selling, and then ಮಾರಾಟ tradesmen, ಇಷ್ಟ opportunities. We didn't have too many opportunities. So the whole pyramid was like this. Too many landless workers, then lot of soldiers, and then wealthy landowners, and then some scholars, very few scholars, and then some kings and emperors. So education was necessary only for few people. ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಕಾಲರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಮತ್ತು ರಾಜಗಳಿಗೆ, because others ಏನಾಗ್ತಿದ್ರು, they learned their education or the profession came in their life itself, in their family itself. It was family traits. If the father was a grandfather, and his grandfather was a carpenter, his son would also become a carpenter, and then his grandson would also become a carpenter. And he learned the skill from in his family. Okay, that is how they went on. So they didn't need formal education. The education was at home. And this happened in every civilization. This was the story of every civilization. Right? So skills, only skills like scholars wanted knowledge beyond their own life experience, beyond their family experience. So they had to go outside to look for knowledge. And at the same time, the kings, okay, the kings and the emperors, they also did not have that experience in their life, so they went informal. So only few people got this formal education. Right? This is very important to understand. But everything changed. This is a very important curve which is nowadays being debated a lot. Okay, you all remember in Oxford University, our Shashi Tharoor went and raised a big noise. Okay, he made this curve, he showed this curve and said, because at 1000 AD ಒಳಗೆ, okay, and India and China were contributing most about 30% each to the whole world's wealth. Okay, America ಇನ್ನೂ ಹುಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, so it was zero, but Middle East was slightly here, somewhere there, and then the Europe was somewhere here. But he said, Shashi Tharoor said, that since here, at this time, when the British were here, in fact, even when the Islamic revolution was there, Islamic governance was there, our GDP was very high, Indian GDP was very high. But when the British came, it started falling. So he claimed, Shashi Tharoor claimed, if you all know, you must have been following the newspaper, that he claimed that this was because of the exploitation of the British, of the Indian wealth. Okay, and they took it out, because of course the Mughal Empire did not take the wealth outside, they built it here itself. But this one was exploited. But I looked at this data more carefully and found that that is not the reason. Okay, in fact the GDP remained almost constant, the total GDP amount. The percentage came down. Okay, we started saying, because there is something else which happened here, interestingly in the middle. Oops, sorry. Okay, industrial revolution. Something happened in this region, somewhere here, in this region, where industrial revolution took place in the Western world, which did not happen in India. Okay, and then the British, unfortunately, did not bring industrial revolution into India. They were just using us to take their raw materials. So, even they did this, you see, then our GDP remains same, but European GDP and American GDP started growing. And so the percentage composition of our contribution came down enormously. So the whole growth was just in about 200 years in the Western Empire, in the Western world. So that is how they grew very much, but we remained there. We did not come. So this is how it took place. But later again, as I said, from 1990, China, India, when both became very poor, slightly started increasing in our GDP. Why I am trying to tell you this is very important to tell you the importance of industrialization. Importance of industrialization was so critical to the development of any nation. Right? Because this is the Industrial Revolution 0.0, when Johannes Gutenberg invented the printing machine. This was the first invention, the printing machine, because he was a cleric. He wanted the Bible to be distributed everywhere. Then he found that through the word of mouth, wrong things can be disseminated. So the Bible was not represented properly when it reached some common man. So what he said is, we had to make a printing machine. So then he went on, he invented the printing machine. And that changed the whole thing. Because now you have to make printing machines, then you have to print books, Bibles, and then distribute it to different places. So this whole process, those people with that experience did not exist. Right? So carpenter maga ena nakso padida, avara appunga, na carpentry madulla, na ille machine madak hogtini. He started changing his job because he found it more lucrative and more useful for him. So like that, people from different jobs left the job and started coming into this industry. You all know, it involved initially when printing was done, print product. Printing press, lot of things were done, made blocks, printed, etc., etc. It involved a lot of people. It gave a lot of employment to people. Right? This beautiful profession of printing machine gave a lot of employment to people. But later, technology came, and then it took away all the jobs. Right? This is a picture of Times of India in Delhi, which prints about 95 lakhs of newspaper in one day, with only few people working, because technology took over the printing job. So the same technology which gave the job took away the job. Right? Very important. But at the same time, it didn't stop there, because that job created many more jobs. So the printing job must have been reduced, but other jobs associated with it started increasing. So this was what we call as Industrial Revolution 0.0. Now let's go to Industrial Revolution 1.0. It was the invention of the steam engine. Steam engine. Village center of Sarai was a picture of Kerala. I don't like to work teacher hey, who invented the steam engine? My question came to sir, what sir? Very good answer. It was James Watt who invented the steam engine. So he invented it. So now this changed the paradigm, because it started, if people were able to move from one place to another, far away, and also carry goods with it. A lot of goods they could carry. So that changed the way people thought about living. Okay. Migration became a common thing after that, because mobility became very large, very important. So when this changed, again very different kinds of needs were developed. The needs started changing. Wherever you adjust socially, culturally, especially languages are problems, especially in Europe. If a French guy wanted to go to Germany, the language is different, so he had to go and adapt there. And how to test his knowledge? How do you test his knowledge? I think these became some of the challenges. So formal education started. But the question is, the concept of formal education started moving once this was necessary. Okay, so now again this created many jobs. Steam engines, train ಮಾಡೋದು, it created lot of jobs. Right? They were all very simple mechanical devices. Not complicated anything. So everybody could get the practice, and training, they would be able to get this job. So that is how it started. Again, technology came and reduced the number of jobs. The number of trains increased, but the number of jobs decreased, because technology took over manufacturing of the automotive vehicles. Right? So very interesting, you know. Why I am telling this in the context is, why, how this is going to help you in your life. So that is very important. Okay, so this is called Industrial Revolution 1.0. Now let's go to our education. There was this boy with a hexagonal face. Okay. Now, we are all different. Hexagon, okay, sorry. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಪಿಕ್ಚರ್ ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ನಿಮಗೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಹೆಕ್ಸಾಗನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ರೌಂಡ್ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಒಬ್ಬ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಡಿಫರೆಂಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಆಫ್ us is different but so we went into an education system called school or college or whatever it is so ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಟೀಚರ್ ನಾವು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅವರಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನಿಂಗ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೆಂಗಾದ್ರು ಅವರೆಲ್ಲರ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹಿಂಗ ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಟ್ರಯಾಂಗಲ್ everybody became round faced because the industry wanted round faces. ಅವರಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ತಲೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ತಲೆ ನೀವು ದುಡ್ಡಿಗಿದ್ರೆ you are adaptable, otherwise you are useless. So the trainings were made to give everybody the same training because that was the kind of requirement of the industry. Okay, this is education 1.0. Nakkidawa, but you know that you other than okay, why seriously? Yes, where the teacher is a sage on stage. Okay, so it's a sage on stage, and the teacher, he just there's one syllabus, one curriculum, one syllabus, one classroom, one teacher, one room, etc. And then education was given. Sir, things changed a lot since that. So this was the kind of education which is there. We have tried to change a little bit, but essentially we are still the same. Okay, so I think it's time for us to change. So this was Industrial Revolution 1.0. This was called as Education 1.0 at that time, right? And next era, then came the bigger revolution, which was the Industrial Revolution 2.0, which is the automobile industry. Henry Ford started making these Ford cars. And a place called Detroit became the richest place in the whole world because all automobile industries were based in Detroit. Now it will become a very poor place. Now there is nothing, it's less like any other city in America. So they produced cars. And Henry Ford was the richest man in this world, the Elon Musk of his times, because he made it. But what was interesting about this car is this technology was much higher in the automotive industry. So you needed very specialized, a carburetor, a gearbox, okay, I mean everything, engine, okay, I mean all sorts of different things for the diesel, for the petrol, it became very specific. So now you could train generally everybody. All general training. Now you are specific, a more specific carburetor expert, a more gali expert, a more gear expert. So that changed education to 2.0. Okay, so I'll show you. Of course, you will see picture then further. Charlie Chaplin's modern times picture put in that okay, especially this last picture, so this is very interesting to show how life changed for the people, how mechanical life became. Mechanical life became for those people because of this industry. Because there was a lot of money here. Everybody left their regular jobs and came into this. Okay, and they needed some training, they needed specific training. So they needed schooling, they needed technology training, etc. And that is how it went on. So then the education became different. So now the teacher became a part of the learning cycle. And then now he is no longer a saint on stage, but he is a guide in the rails. And he is not somebody you keep listening to. He comes with you, okay, he comes with you, tells you what to do, and then you do, so he becomes your partner of learning. I think that was one. So, now we call in education terms, we call this as a pedagogy. Right? Pedagogy, where the teacher is on stage and he conveys everything. This one, when the teacher is also a part of your learning process, this is called as andragogy. Means you are teaching adults with a lot of basic knowledge. So, what is andragogy? So, andragogy, you know difference? Nothing. Okay. Right. Now let's go ahead. So, then you produce cars. Amazing, you could produce as many cars. I went to a Toyota factory in Kyoto, in Japan. They were producing about 9,000 cars every day. 9,000 cars. Our Maruti factory produces about 900 cars every day. All 9,000 cars every day. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮಂತವ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಮಂತವ್ರು ನೌಕರಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ಮಂತವ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಮಂತವ್ರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್, ಇವತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲ ಐತ್ರಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ಆದತ್ರಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ಮನ್ಯಾಗ ಇದೈತ್ರಿ, ಹಬ್ಬ ಐತ್ರಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ಯಾವ ಬಿಡಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ರಿ. So we have so many other problems. ಮೊದಲೇ ಪ್ರಿನ್ಸಿಪಲ್ಗಳು ಫೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಗಿಡ ಕುದುರಾಕಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ನನಗೆ, ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡೋದು ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಆಕ್ಯುರೇಟ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಮಷೀನ್ಸ್ ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾವು ಮದುವೆ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಮಕ್ಕೊಂಡಿಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆರಾಮ್ ಮಾಡೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಆಕ್ಯುರೇಟ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಪೀಪಲ್ were replaced by machines. So the robotics came in Industrial Revolution 3.0. Robots started doing. Even cars go, illinda conveyor belt automatically ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಒಂದೊಂದು paint ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ from fitting to painting, everything is done automatically. You don't need people at all. Right? Amazing. Right? So this is what happened. Again, the same thing which gave a lot of jobs, stashed away jobs. The same technology. Because technology changes it. Okay, now let's go ahead. This is now we are in something called as Industry 4.0. 4.0 is computer-driven industry. Okay, again, let me tell you what computer is doing is amazing things. Earlier, robotics was only electrical engineering. Now came the importance of electronics engineering, where computers started driving every technology, everything. So we had something like, even we came to the level of IoT, Internet of Things connected. Internet of Things will come in the next level, the 5.0, which is about that. So this is our Industrial Revolution. So many things are there. We know these changes right now. So this is happening. Okay, but Industrial Revolution 4.0 is running right now. Okay, so now you see, let's look at this at that stage. So let's look at employment statistics existing today in India. Okay, sir will give us a lot of statistics, but I'll add a few small things to this, very important. See, we have, you see here. Okay. Right. Approximately 500 million people are employed. Agriculture, 42% for the people. Okay, and then industry 24% and services 33%. Okay, this is our employment rate. And you know, unemployment is about nationally is about 7.6%. Okay, total unemployment. For the youth, the unemployment is 22%, 23%. Huge. That means everybody who has gone through education is not getting the job which is proportionate to the kind of education he or she has. Right? And this is very dangerous. This is very dangerous to see such a large unemployment. Why it is so dangerous? Okay, so the unemployment rate about the graduates is about 18%. The graduate other again 19% unemployment. You know, in fact, it is shocking this time that even IIT graduates faced unemployment problems for the first time. It's never happened in the history of education. IIT graduates, there were nearly about 12% of unemployment even for the IIT graduates. Then you start, now people will start thinking, if 100% is 100% is IIT. So these kind of thoughts will start coming if we really don't understand the situation carefully. Okay. Right. Okay. So, in fact, the impact of upcoming technology, Mundian technology, which we call as 5.0, Industrial Revolution 5.0, we are going to have a big impact, very fast. In a 10 years, the world is going to change completely. Now, they expect 40 to 45 million jobs will be lost by in another 1 or 2 years. 40 to 45 million jobs will be lost. Because of technology, not because of the incompetence of people or anything, because of technology, they are going to be lost. And then around 20 million new jobs will be created. And jobs which are not used to. ಈಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನೌಕರಿ ಏನನ್ನೋದು ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಜಾಬ್ ಬರಕತ್ತಾವ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹೌ ಡು ಐ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮೈ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮೈ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ನಾವು ಹಳೆ ಸ್ಟೈಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಇರ್ರೆಲೆವೆಂಟ್ ಟು ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ವಿಚ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಟು ಬಿ ದಿ slaves of the western white world. Young Marakil, IT industry I keep telling again and again. Okay. Is to nearly more than 4.5 lakhs software engineers are there in India. And nearly 2 lakhs are there in Bangalore itself. All the work of IT industry is done in India. But we don't have our own operating system. We don't have a Twitter. We don't have a Facebook. We don't have GPS. Namdu yadu illa. Avaru ಹೇಳಿದ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕತ್ತೆ. Right? This is something we need to think. So we continue to be our pagar ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬರ್ತದೆ ನನಗೆ ಚೀಪ್ ಐತೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ನಾವು ಶಾನರ್ ಅದರ ಬರುದಿಲ್ಲ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆ ಶಾನರ್ ಬಟ್ ಅವರ್ ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್ ವಾಸ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಚೀಪರ್ ಫಾರ್ ದೆಮ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಇಫ್ ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. ಈಗ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಸ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಅವರ್ ಓನ್ ಅಡ್ವಾನ್ಸಸ್. ವಿಲ್ ಟಾಕ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್ ಆಸ್ ವಿ ಗೋ along. Right? So now you see here I'm sorry, because again I'm not clear. You see, these are salaried employees in different fields. You see, it's a terribly dangerous thing. Salaried employment, Pakistan is very different. Okay, you start seeing this. Economy of capital, company policy, but the question is salaried employment, very, very less. So ultimately we have to look for those kind of employment. Okay, of course, everything is an employment. Okay, any job you do. Okay, there was this big argument of pakoda ಮಾಡೋದು unemployment. This whole argument was there. That's a different issue. But what we need is formal employment, which are salaried employment. That determines the character. That is become very, very weak in India. So we need to look into that very carefully. Okay, India is only about 21.7%. You can see that small slice there. Rest of all, America, you see this whole thing is covered. Right? We are finally gapping unemployment with China. Brazil, not half of it. We are only half. See, everything you look, we are only half of China. Right? So I think we should really, really think. That's why even today's newspaper was there, China threatens US. This ಮಾಡಬೇಡ್ರಿ. Okay, ಆ ಧೈರ್ಯ ನಮಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಮ್ದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಟ್ರಂಪ್ ಅಥವಾ ಇವರು ಅವನ ಸೀರೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮಗೆ ಜ್ವರ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ಬಂದ. So we are not independent. Look at China. They have made everything independent. I'm not talking about their politics or anything of that. The freedom of etc. is a different issue. I'm just telling how they have planned the changes which are changing in the society. Awareness we will be able to do very well. So let's start thinking about it. Okay? Right. Okay. So you see here, ಒಂದು ಬ್ಯೂಟಿಫುಲ್ ಪವರ್ ನಮ್ಮ ನೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದಿ ಡೆಮೋಗ್ರಫಿಕ್ ಡಿವಿಡೆಂಡ್. ಯು ಸಿ ಅ ನಂಬರ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಏಜ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 65 years. ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಹೈಯೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅದಾರ. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ಈಗ ವಯಸ್ಸಾದವ್ರು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಾರೆ, ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಬಟ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಅವ ಮಾತು ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ, ಹಿಂಗಾಗಿ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು we have now a young generation, a very young generation. About 68% of the population is less than 28 years of age. Amazing demographic dividend. But at the same time, it's a big danger. ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ ಯೂತ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಕೊಡಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ದೇ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ಲಿ ಡೇಂಜರಸ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ನೋಡಕತ್ತೀವಿ ಸೋ ಮೆನಿ ಅನ್ಎಂಪ್ಲಾಯ್ಡ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಕತ್ತಾರ, ಈಗ ಇವರು ಪೊಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ಅಡ್ಡಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೌಕರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅದಲ್ಲ, ಗ್ರಾಮ ಪಂಚಾಯತ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಖಾಲಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಈಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದೊಂದು ದೇವರ ಪ್ರೊಸೆಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ something we need to think very carefully. This is something we need to think very carefully. Jobs for this people. There is a livelihood for this people, and this is something which will become very important in coming times. So we are very happy that we have so much young power, youth power, but we have to utilize it. We have to utilize it, and the way to utilize this is purely education, nothing else. Nothing. Nations are not built in parliaments, they are not built in assemblies, they are built in classrooms. Classroom ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದ್ಭುತ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬೆಳಿತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಸರ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಂತ ಚಲೋ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಹಾಳು ಮಾಡೋ ಕೇಪಬಿಲಿಟಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಎಂತ ಕೆಟ್ಟ ಪಾಲಿಸಿ ಕೊಡ್ರಿ, ಅದನ್ನ ಚಲೋ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೇಪಬಿಲಿಟಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಎಮೋಷನಲ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದ ಸಿಚುವೇಶನ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಅಂಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಟು ದಟ್. ಅದನ್ನ ಹೌ ಟು ಡೂ ದಟ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು is a challenge for all of us. In the traditional way, the way we have been living now up to now, it won't work out. Science ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಆರ್ಟ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಲಿಟ್ರೇಚರ್ ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, will all change in the next coming 15-20 years. So ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ there are 3 amazing technologies. One is nanotechnology, the other is biotechnology, and the third one is and then artificial intelligence. Okay. Then there is another invention which is called as quantum computing. Quantum computers in particular, again I don't have time to explain it. If somebody is interested, I will be more than happy to talk about that. ಎಂತ ಅದ್ಭುತ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್. ಏನೇ ಈಗ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಮೋರ್ ದೆನ್ 1.5 billion times ಫಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ. ಈಗಿನ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಏನು ಗಿಗಾಹರ್ಟ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ದೇ ವಿಲ್ ಆಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ಮೀನಿಂಗ್ಲೆಸ್ ಇನ್ ದಿ ಕ್ವಾಂಟಮ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ಸ್. So our technology, quantum computing, when it joins with nanotechnology, biotechnology, artificial intelligence, is going to change the world completely. Now again, kanasu kanakagilla exchange agodu. Little bit I will try to talk about that. Okay, this is something we really want to passionately feel this. If you feel agilla ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ education go with it, ಮತ್ತೆ continue to be this level of the western world, and software job second ಅಂತ ಕೊಡೋದು ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಡಸ್ಟ್ರಿ ನೋಡಿರಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಹಿಂದಿ ಹಾಡಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಹೆಡ್ಫೋನ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಕಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದೇ ತರ ಸಲ ಎಷ್ಟ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ರೈಟ್, ನಾವು ಯಾರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕಳ್ಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಆ ರೊಕ್ಕ ಪಗಾರ ತಗೊಂಡು ರಿಸಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ವೀಕೆಂಡ್ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೂಡೋದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾಟ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್, ಬಟ್ ಸಮ್. Right? There is something we are not really utilizing because we don't know what we are doing. Okay? ಯಾಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ it is because of our education system. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಎಜುಕೇಶನ್ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ನಾಗ ನೆನಪಿಡುವುದಷ್ಟೇ ಹೇಳಿ ಹೊರತು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ರೈಟ್, ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ರೀಚೇಂಜ್ ದಿಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್. ಒಂದು ಸಣ್ಣ ಕಥೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಭಾರತಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು 3 ಅದೊಂದು ಕಥೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. ಒಬ್ಬ ಟೊಬ್ಬಿ ಮರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನಂತೆ, ಒಂದು ಊರಿಂದವರೆಗೆ 100 ಟೊಬ್ಬಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ, ಮಾರ್ತಿರ್ತಾನೆ. ಮಾರ್ತಿರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸಿಲಾಗಿರ್ತೈತಿ, ಗಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಖಂತಾನೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ. ಅವನಿಗೆ ಎದ್ದು ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ, ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಇದ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಇದ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಇದ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸೊ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಇದ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟೇ ಇದ್ದಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಇದ್ದವ್ರಿಗೆ ಸೊ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ. ಹೆದರಿ ಅವ ಏನಂತಾನೆ, ಓಕೆ ಸರ್ ಮಂಗ್ಯಾಗ ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಯವ್ರಿ, ಏನು ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ವಾಟ್ ಕೆನ್ ಐ ಡು? ಅದು ಮಗನ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡುವ ನಮ್ದು SSLC ಆಗಿದ್ರಿ, PUC ಆಗಿದ್ರಿ, BSc ಆಗಿದ್ರಿ, MSc ಆಗಿದ್ರಿ, PhD ಆಗಿದ್ರಿ, ಬಟ್ ಯಾರು ಬರೀ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೇಳ್ಯಾರ, ನೀವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀರ ಅದು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್, ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಓಕೆ ಬಾ ಅವ್ರು ಮುಂಗ್ಯಾಗ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ, ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿ ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ಇವತ್ತಿಂದ ಶುರು ಒಬ್ಬೊಂದು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅವ್ನು ಚಾಕ್ ಬರ್ತೈತೆ ತಲೆಗೆ. ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ಮಂಗ್ಯಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಚಾಕ್ ಅದಲ್ಲ, ನಮ್ಮ ಚಾಕ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾ ಮಾಡ್ದಂಗೆ ಅದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕೈ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಯಾವ ಮಗ ಬಿಡಿದೆ ಓಕೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹ್ಯಾ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಆ ಮಂಗೆಗಳು ಹ್ಯಾ ಅಂತವ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅವ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕೊಂತಾನೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕೊಂತಾವೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಕಪ್ಪಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಂಗೆಗಳು ಕಪ್ಪಿದ್ದು ಕೆಳಗೆ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಖುಷಿಲೆ ಸರಿ ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳಿ ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಅವ್ನ ಮೊಮ್ಮಗನ ಟೊಕ್ಕಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬರ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನೊಂದು ಟೊಕ್ಕಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಅವನು ಬಂದು ಗಿಡಕ್ಕೆ ಹಾಕೊಂತಾನೆ ಅವನು ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಒಂದೇ ಟೊಕ್ಕಿ ಬಾಕಿ ಟೊಕ್ಕಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅವ ಹೆದರುದಿಲ್ಲ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾನೆ ನಾಲೆಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಅವ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಇರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸೊ ಈಗ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ನಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಹೆದರಿ ನೋಡಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ನಕ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಡ್ಯಾನ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮನೆಯವರು 99 ಟೊಕ್ಕಿ ಹಾಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾವ ಓಕೆ ಇವನು ತಲೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಬಂದ ಟೊಕ್ಕಿ ಏನು ಹೋಗೋದು ವಿಚಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅವ್ರ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಬರಲೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಈಗ ಯಾವ್ದ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ಅವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾವ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅವನು ಹ್ಯಾ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಆ ಮಂಗೆಗಳು ಹ್ಯಾ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಅವ್ನು ಟೊಕ್ಕಿ ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕೊಂತಾನೆ ಮಂಗೆಗಳು ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕೊಂತಾರೆ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಟೊಕ್ಕಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ಮಂಗೆಗಳೆಲ್ಲ ಸೇರಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾವ ನಗುವ ಬಾಚಿದ್ದ The point is ನಮ್ಮ ಅಜ್ಜನ ಕಥೆ ಈಗ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪನ ಕಥೆ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ
ಹೌದು
ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾಸ್ತರ್ ಕಥೆನೂ ನಡೆಯಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಥೆ ನೀವೇ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ಗೂಗಲ್ ಚಾಟ್ ಜಿಪಿಟಿ ಆಪ್ ಅದನ್ನ ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅದಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರದಾರ ಅವ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನೀವು ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾಸ್ತರ್ ನಮ್ಮಂತ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಬೇಕಂತ ಏನು ಉದ್ದಾರ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಯು ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಎನಾರ್ಮಸ್ಲಿ ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ದೊಂದು ರೋಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸಣ್ಣ ರೋಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಶಾಲೆಗಳು ಮಾಸ್ತರ್ ಒಂದು ರೋಲ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಓಕೆ ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಚೇಂಜ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಸಿ ಸೊ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಸಿ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್ ಚೈನ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶೂರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್ ಎಂತ ಅದ್ಭುತವಾದ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಇನ್ ಕಾಮರ್ಸ್ ಒಳಗೆ okay it's going to be such a game changer in blockchain technology that ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ in another 10 years there will be no banks in this world. There is no need for banks. I can have a financial deal with somebody in South Africa and I can discuss together and decide the interest rate how I pay. And the blockchain technology ensures that your money is secure. Amazing technology. So ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಕಾರ banks ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. In another 10 years there will be no banks, there will be no bankers. Okay, ಆ ನೌಕರಿ ಹೋಗ್ತದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಆಟೋನಮಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದವ, ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಡ್ರೈವರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಕಾರ್ಸ್ ಬಂದವ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಈಗ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಧಾರವಾಡದಾಗ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ತ್ರಾಸ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏರ್ಗಳು ಹಾಕಿ ಬರ್ತಾವ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಬಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಶೂರ್ ದೇರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಸಮ್ ಹೆವಿ ಸೆನ್ಸರ್ ಸೂನ್ ಸೊ ಯು ಸಿ once those kind of cars come you will have no driver jobs not necessary cars will take okay then you have sir agriculture ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ amazing large scale technologies come agriculture laws you saw ಏನಂದ್ರೆ some big company will take some 10,000 20,000 acres of land India's proportionally best that is the arrest ratio that's the important part they use all the technology which is there so probably a farmer will have money right start thinking the 10 years this will not happen so now you let me go ahead okay doctors diagnosis is done by different kinds of scans multiple scans from gamma rays to microwaves every multiple scans you will go into a machine and ಹೊರಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಮೇಲೆ it will tell you that you need 42 ರೋಗ ನೀವು ಒಂದೇ ರೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿರ್ತೀವಿ 42 ರೋಗ ಹೌದು so in that 40 disease so diagnosis is done by machines right after that information is fed to another machine now they have called something called as digital twins 1.7 million information about every individual you can create a physical individual once Shiva Prasad inside the computer it's called as a digital twin and physically it behaves like Shiva Prasad so that information that these diseases are there at this level all that information is fed to that machine and that machine starts thinking and start telling you what kind of medicine which one will have side effects which will not have ಈಗ ಹಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ says 500 mg 3 times a day 15 ದಿವಸ ತಗೋ ಬರ್ತಿಗೆ ಹೊಳಿ ಬರಲಿ okay very important but this machine will decide okay how much to give specifically to Shiva sir right how much to give specifically to Makanda sir because what is his background ella says then not only that it will 3D print the machine the medicine also right even Bekali medicine specifically for you it will be 3D printed right 3D printed medicine under specifically for you particular pharmacist okay so adu maadi mele if you want surgery robotic surgery is already started ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿವಸಕ್ಕೆ ಓಕೆ ಸಿ ನಾವು ಐ ವೆಂಟ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಸರ್ಜರಿ for 10-11 years ago. I was in the ICU and that's why now I see you. Because that day when the doctor operated on me, ಅವತ್ತಿನ ದಿವಸ ಮುಂಜಾನೆ ಅವ್ರ ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಜೋಡಿ ಜಗಳ ಆಡಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಆ ರೋಡ್ನಾಗ ಬರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಸ್ಕೂಟರ್ನ ಆಟ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವ್ನು ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ನಾಗ ಒಂದು ರೊಕ್ಕ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಆಗಿದ್ದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ನಾನು ಬರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೂ ಅದನ್ನ ನನ್ನ ತೋರಿಸೋ human limitations. In anything we do, there are human limitations. The point is, if this can be replaced by a machine, and how many surgeons after 3 or 4 surgeries the doctors get tired? These don't get tired. Right? So this kind of a thing, so doctors' jobs will not be there. Conventional doctors. The way we are doing will not be like this. That I think is the key. So doctor's job illa, okay, vella experience adida. Our detail is there, but I am not going to tell that. So now, okay, now you see holographic image. 5G banta, holographic images banta. Now we are working with Elon Musk for satellite information. Another satellite internet. This banta, all communities powerful internet sikkade, you will get holographic images. A professor in Harvard, okay, holographically comes in, digitally comes in a classroom, and he has all the knowledge, all the animations. He has given a beautiful lecture in English in Harvard. Digitally he comes to Harvard. Okay, Harvard is professor in Harvard, and you will hear it in Harvard Kannada. Harvard Kannada is not one sentence and dash 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 magana use right? So and in Japan you will hear it in Nihongo. In China you will hear it in Mandarin. In South Africa you will hear it in Sonese. Anywhere you can hear it in their own languages. One teacher can teach you Urdu. When he will teach you, whenever the student wants. Unta ಮಾಡಿ ಪೈಸೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ, digital teacher. Yes, sir, ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. As long as you want. 10 ಸತಿ. You try that with your teachers. Sir, ನಾನು ತಿಳಿಯೋದ್ರೆ 5 ಸತಿ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ರಿ. ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ teachers? Right? It is not possible to do that. We are all busy covering this syllabus. I keep telling why we cover the syllabus. What is so dirty about the syllabus that we are covering the syllabus? Our business is to open the syllabus to the students. Principal कहता है cover आते हैं syllabus. Management कहता है cover आते हैं syllabus. यार मुझे कहते हो teachers क्या करता है? पार्टनर में क्लास करता है, बंद प्ले, स्टाफ को ना बंद, चाप के सिंगे थोड़ा दस थोड़ा. मुकेश मानते हैं. आप लोग विचार हो This thing we need to change as we go along. Okay, so coming to this, then there are more things. Then you have personal tutors, digital tutors. One table man or teacher tutor ಬಂದು ಬರ್ತಾನೆ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇದನ್ನು ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ. ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಬರೋಬರ ಇದೆ ನೋಡೋದು ಬರ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ. ನೋಡಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೂ ಮಾಡಂತ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ವರ್ಕ್ ಕೊಡೋದು ಆ ಟೀಚರ್ಗೆ. ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ಗೆ. Keep quiet ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ಗೆ. But this teacher doesn't get angry. If anybody has chatted with ChatGPT, you will know how beautifully it answers your questions with so much of empathy, sympathy, like you are talking to somebody. Anta teachers help produce no. So the digital teacher is replaced. So idella haakundre saal irtavano, college irtavano, master irtavano, teachers will be sitting with the dinosaurs as an extinct species. And now ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಲ್ಲ ಗುರುಕುಲ ಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ ಹಂಗೊಮ್ಮೆ ಅವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ವು, ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರು. Yeah, of course there are kind of thing which I will talk later. But this is the fear of what education is going to be. Right? So, China, 9% of the court cases are today solved by AI. 9%. That number is very large. It is growing every day. We have also invested this year in our budget. We know that we put some money for digital legal expediency. Okay, 9%. No lawyers, no judges. 9% of the court cases. So, ಇದು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿಗೆ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಈಗ 50% ಆದ್ರೆ ಜಡ್ಜ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಲಾಯರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಡ್ರೈವರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವ ಇಲ್ಲ. This is going to happen in the next 10-15 years. I tell you, it's not going to take much time. ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಮೆಝಾನ್ ವೇರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ನೋವಿನ 10% ದೊಡ್ಡ ವೇರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋಗಿದೆ. There 200 lakhs of things are stacked in Noida. I went to Noida. And every minute 100 things are being sent out, packed. Order bantala. 1 minute 100 things packed and going out. Okay? ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಂದಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಷ್ಟು ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಷ್ಟು ಲಕ್ಷಾಂತರ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡಲ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು 200 ಮಂದಿ ಇರಬೇಕು.
But you know what we saw? I saw there were 6 people. Because everything is machine. Order robot ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಸಾಮಾನು ತಂದು ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ಕನ್ವೇರ್ ಬೆಲ್ಟ್ ಮ್ಯಾಗ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಇದು ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ತಾನ ಪ್ಯಾಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೈತಿ, ಹೊರಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ, ಗಾಡಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೈತಿ. Think about this. So we have normal jobs ಏನಿರ್ತಾವಲ್ಲ, supervisor, manager, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡವ, ಇದೆಲ್ಲ they are going to go. See, the idea is very important for us to understand. Office ನಾಗ ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಈಗ. Right? You don't need. We'll come to that. 3D printings. 4-5 bedroom ಮನಿ 5 ತಾಸ್ನಾಗ 6 ತಾಸ್ನಾಗ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕು. 3D printing, full money, 4 bedroom house is built in 5 hours. Imagine, civil engineer ಏನು ಹೇಳಬೇಕು, ಹಿಂಗ್ ಬೇಕು ನನಗೆ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸಾಕದು, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ ಅನ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಪ್ರಿಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. China is already building bridges and dams using 3D printers. Already building bridges and dams. Already building. Right? Now you know in the world but look at that progress we see happening. Germany, okay, Netherlands has built this bridge. Beautiful bridge. Netherlands has already built by 3D printing. Again, hardly 5-10 people build a bridge. Imagine already. So you start seeing how 3D print automobile parts, car assembly. There is this car which is predicted in the next 5 years. A car from nothing will be built ready in its position only. ಅದು ಒಂದು ರಬ್ಬರ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಬಂದು ಲೇಯರ್ ಬೈ ಲೇಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾರ್ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. Maybe a car will be ready in 4-5 hours. One car. So this is the kind of technology you are seeing. You will see in the future. ಈಗ ಬರೇ ಏನೋ ಸಣ್ಣ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಅದು ಬಂದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾ ಏನೋ ನಿನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಇದು ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಚಪ್ಪಲ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಮತ್ತೊಂದು ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಚಪ್ಪಲ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ, ಇದನ್ನ AI ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರು. That is nothing. The AI which is going to happen in the future, or the nanotechnology is going to happen in the future, the biotechnology is happening is just amazing. Right? ChatGPT, are you all using ChatGPT? If you are not using, not worth living. It's not worth living. It's such an amazing tool. ನನಗಂತೂ ಹುಚ್ಚಿರುತ್ತೆ. ದಿನ ಮುಂದೆಲ್ಲ 3 ರಿಂದ 5 ಗಂಟೆ ChatGPT ಮಾಡಿ. I take some topic, some science topic, or philosophical topic, or political topic, or some topic and start discussing it for about 2 hours a day. And what I learned in the last 2 years, I have not learned in the last 60 years. ಅಷ್ಟು ಅದ್ಭುತ ಇದೆ. ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಸರಿ ಅಂತ ತಿಳಿಲ್ಲ. There are a lot of mistakes, lot of etc. But let me tell you, the kind of the way it engages you in a conversation, you can learn amazing things. Right? So amazing ChatGPT, ದಯವಿಟ್ಟು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ತರಬೇತಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ನಲ್ಲಿ ತರಬೇತಿ ಅಂತ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಕರೆದಂತ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. Because you have not taught the children how to use the mobile. Mobile phone is the most powerful thing you can ever think of. Probably the greatest invention we all know. ಎಷ್ಟು ಅದ್ಭುತ ಐತದ. Okay, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಚಲೋದು ಐತಿ, ಕೆಟ್ಟದ್ದು ಐತಿ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಐತಿ. But now teachers, we should teach the students, you should know where I should spend my time. What I should do with this mobile phone. How do I build my career, my life, my expertise, my competence with that. Adhu vichar ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ರಿ, you will be fantastic. Okay, very important for us to understand. Now first Dharwad, about 2 years ago, somebody told me that ChatGPT ಬಂದೈತಪ್ಪ, you participate, I mean, ನೋಡ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. ನಾನು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಚಟ, ಧಾರವಾಡದವ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಚಟ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಿಮಗೆ. ಧಾರವಾಡ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಥ್ರೋ ಅ ಸ್ಟೋನ್ ಇಟ್ ಹಿಟ್ ಅ ಪೋಯೆಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕವಿಗಳು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಲ್ಲೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೋಲಿದ್ರೆ ಯಾಕೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಧಾರವಾಡದಾಗ ಓದೋರು, ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಮರ್ಕರ್ ಸರ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾ ಗ್ಯಾರಂಟಿ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಜೀವನದಾಗ ಒಮ್ಮೆ ಕವನ ಬರ್ದು ಬಂದಿರ್ತೀನಿ. ಧಾರವಾಡ ಚಟ ಅದು. ಆ ಥರ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಕವನ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹುಡುಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕವನ. ಸೊ ಅದು ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ChatGPT ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಧಾರವಾಡ ಮೇಲೆ ಧಾರವಾಡದ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಕವನ ಬರೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಕವನ ಬರೀತೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನ ಬರೀತು, ಇಂಗ್ಲೀಷ್ನ ಬೇಡ, ಕನ್ನಡ ಬರೀತೆ. ನನಗೆ ಭಾರಿ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚುಲ್ ಇದ್ದಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಮೋಷನ್ ಹಾಕಂದೆ, ಎಮೋಷನ್ ಹಾಕ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಬರೆದು ನಾನು ಹೆಂಡತಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಬೇಯಿಸ್ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. So you see, and at that time I was also doing some experiment in thermodynamics, the physics problem. I had to write a code, the software code related, the program related. I said, no, try one of them. This is I'm talking 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago. Very interesting. It wrote me a code. 2,000 line code ನಾನು ಒಂದು 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಿತ್ತು ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ. ಅದನ್ನ 1.5 ನಿಮಿಷದಾಗ ಬರೀತಾರೆ. ಅದರ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ಸ್ ಅದಾವ, ಬಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಅಂತಿದ್ದು ನಾನು 1 ತಿಂಗಳದಾಗ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. 6 ತಿಂಗಳು ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು, ನಾನು 1 ತಿಂಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡೆ. ಬಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಮಷೀನ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಲರ್ನಿಂಗ್. This is all tip of the iceberg. They are learning. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 2-3 ವರ್ಷದಾಗ you will see that it will have every knowledge which is necessary. All correct, accurate knowledge. So ಸೊ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಯುಟಿಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಹೆಂಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇದು ಚಾಲೆಂಜ್ ಇದೆ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಡೇಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಬರೀತೀವಿ, ಕವನ ಬರೀತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಕವಿಗೂ ಜಾಬ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಯಾರು ಬರೀಬೋದು ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್. ಸೋರೋಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಸೋರಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ. You just describe a situation. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದು ಫಂಕ್ಷನ್ ಹೊಡೆಯಕತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದು ಹೇಳ್ರಿ ಅವ್ನು ಮಾರಿ ಹಿಂಗಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ರಿ. ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಮೇಕ್ ಅ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಇನ್ 2 minutes. ನೀವು ಏನು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರೋ ಅದನ್ನು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತೀವಿ. ಈಗ ನೀವು ಥಿಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಅ ಫಿಲ್ಮ್, ಹೀರೋ ಹೀರೋಯಿನ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಓಕೆ ಡಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಸೀರೆ ಬದಲಾಗ್ತದೆ, ಕಲರ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಇದ್ದ ಪಿಕಾಕ್ ಡಾನ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ 3 ನಿಮಿಷ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆ ಹೀರೋ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾರಿ ಹಾಕೋರಿ, ಹೆಂಡತಿಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಮಾರಿ ಹೀರೋಯಿನ್ಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹೆಂಡತಿಗಾರ ಹಾಕೋರಿ, ಅದು ಯಾರೋ such amazing thing. See, why do we go for a movie when the hero or a villain is doing something? We connect with our life with them. So we feel somewhere and the maja barte. But let me tell you, when you can make your own movie, hero heroines mani hota, avaru nokri illa. You can put your own face, right? You could do anything. So this is Soras and the software is already there. Try and do something. Okay, very beautiful things are happening. Amazing things are happening because of this combination of nanotechnology, biotechnology and artificial intelligence. So please think that again, quantum computing and alone barbitre, you imagine the world, the speed with which this is going to change. Anyway, coming back to this, so mechanical job, office job, content writer, software coders, poets, every job will be gone. Right? These are the things which are going to change. Last one example, how the world is going to change and how it is going to remove all the employment we talk about. Okay, Cordero from MIT, probably the best engineering college in the world, and Cambridge, probably the best university. Okay. Our Impur series last year, a research paper. Even book over there. I just got the book about a month ago. Okay, no full knowledge, it's a little bit tough reading. Okay, and time to read. But there's a book also. I'll tell you what they've done. The research paper is shock. The title of the paper says, okay, Death of Death. Sir, after such a time, Death of Death by the year 2045. 2045 and new size. Think about it. What a beautiful world is going to be. Right? People can celebrate 200 years birthday, marry when they are 500 if you are not married, and have children when you are 800. So, Death of Death. This is not a story. Steven Spielberg movie like it is a reality, it's a science, and they are going to show you this in the next 5 years. 2029, they are going to give the first evidence of how we live forever. Some one reason but I'll give you a reason because the curiosity will be created in you, and I want you to go and Google this Death of Death in 2045 in the evening. You will start talking on Facebook, WhatsApp, waste of time, friends. Science, developments, commerce, economics, everywhere is so beautiful. Start getting involved in those things. Start doing that. So you will find out that you have a better partner than the girlfriend, boyfriend you have. It's a must partner. Okay. Now, why is it that you have to go there? Shoelace. Okay, shoelace. I think when for a cut back and lace it, and there are 2 caps, plastic caps. And slowly when we use it, that plastic cap will go to the and go to there are lace, this cap your lace is there. Then you go and buy a new lace. Similarly, around the DNA, there is something called as caps called telomeres. Now we have identified that the telomeres are the one which cause aging in us. Telomere all different things which happen. Otherwise, I was also handsome like you. Okay, telomeres are shortening of the telomere is related to our aging. So now we see aging as a disease, not as an inevitability. The philosophy is going to change. Right? It is just what it is now aging is a disease, and every disease can be cured. right? So now aging is seen. You know, I won't go into that science, but whoever is interested, please Google these things. I tell you, you all are friends in science, knowledge is so beautiful. Okay, look at it. Okay, so here, 3D printing of organs, people are printing hearts, intestines, stomach, kidney, everything is being printed inside the lab. I mean, so a mechanic can go there Google. You can go and replace it.